Back again. Been recording this a few times. Gotta get messing up the video. Well, today subject is projects I'm working on. First one is working on an old classic computer. It's called Commodore 64. Here we are, fast load cartridge. Under my desk is the floppy drive that goes with it, same ugly color. I think it's 1451 floppy. Can't remember. Inside it had a little bit of a problem. Looks like the this video chip. There's a cover plate on it, and it sort of popped off. Don't know why. And it has the paste for the heat paste on there. Came off. So I put it on for now, but I need more heat paste to replace it and make it work better. Been trying to connect it to any of my flat panel monitors. Doesn't like talking to any of them. I think the signal's wrong. I've tried many things. If you look on the funny, use the analog port. Commodore 64 doesn't like talking to things, it seems. Use a standard analog cable with the connector on the back of 64. If you have an old-fashioned TV, it'll work, but doesn't want to work for the setup we have today, because I'm running LG or Sony screens, so it's not helping me at all. So won't work. You can try other connectors, but it doesn't work either. Then the other one I did is I ordered a cable, another one, but it has an S-video on. Should work, but this S-video is not as good as the one from UK. UK has a beautiful one, but they don't ship here, so I'm sort of hooped. Go to eBay and I see this wonderful cable everyone loves, but UK people are discriminatory, won't ship to Canada. Give me an excuse. I'd love to get a hold of that cable. Someone in UK likes me, send me the cable. I'll take it. The other thing I did is I have a poor man's cable. I made this. It has a TV end, or actually a cable end, and then it has a Commodore end. But something wrong with the cable. It doesn't work properly. I do wiggle it, and it will show up a millisecond, so I can see the display, see the Commodore thing, but then it disappears. Can't get it back. So went onto eBay, ordered a proper cable for about $20. So hopefully that'll be here next week or the week after. Hopefully sooner the better. I want to play with this. Not that I need to, just want to make it work because it's here. And then fire up the floppy drive and see what CD floppies still work. Who knows if anything will work. Here's a word processor from the Commodore 64. It's called Fleet System. This is old school. Really old. And on the back of it, I think it had this dictionary on the back, and on the front was the word processor. I gotta find where the box for that is. Some months I'm gonna go get it back. We got the power cables, and this is the data cable for the Commodore 64. You plug in this funky cable, and it goes to the floppy drive, and boom, you can use it. Got lots of floppies over there, old games like Spy vs. Spy and Fort Apocalypse and whatever you can get. Even have a modem here. Where can I find it? I've got a modem over there. It's about this big. I think it was really fast at that time. 300 baud. You would dial, flip the switch, and boom, you're on. It was an auto. And then I have because it only did 40 columns, 40 like A, B, C to cross. I got another card from Batteries Included that did 80. Actually, that's people want that card now. You can't get it. I'm only one of the few people who have it. Get poor, I'll sell it. Maybe it's thousands of dollars. Who knows? And go from there. I have another computer, and this is the one I'm playing with right now. I have another computer I'm very interested in bringing here. When I was younger, when I went to a school called Vancouver Tech, we didn't buy computers, we built computers. So we had a computer based on the RCA 1802 processor. Beautiful machine, 16-bit registers, the whole thing. Really love that machine. We programmed in a cool language called hex. So you go F8 something 30 to jump and go. Really cool. We had to program our own BIOS, which was fun. We took keyboards without a standard interface. You'd go get a teletype keyboard with a massive pin connector. And that was an 1802, so you connected to an 1841 or an 1842 I/O chip, and then you could manage the input. So we programmed a keyboard, which was fun. You lose that keyboard, I'm dead. I'm going to have to go redo the BIOS again, which is a pain in the ass. There's a keyboard map burned on a ROM, so we had to work with that. The Commodore tape drive I had, you can use that for saving, restoring your applications. Commodore Drive worked on that machine and this one because we wrote a program to support the tape drive. Looked almost the same too, the application. You go load this and it would go in. I had, for me to understand what it does now, I'd probably have to dump the memory on the config, figured out how to do that again, because that was when I was 17 and way older. That's a long time, over 30 years ago. Probably still works. So I should bring it over one time, pull it out of mom's house, get the keyboard and the whole thing fired up. And if it works, that would be cool. That's a classic. I don't even think I'm probably the only one with the original, one of the original. We built about 4 or 5 of them. Not a lot of people did. Teacher named Venturi in Vancouver Tech, electronics guy. He's a bit nuts, but he taught us how to do that. He was also a good teacher because what happened is he didn't give you a free ride. You had to figure things out. So when I started, I knew nothing when I went to Vancouver Tech, grade 11 and 12. And I learned things the hard way. You had to figure things out, blow up capacitors, program all the stuff. You get beat up by the teacher because you watch your friend burn when he was etching a board, he did it wrong, so he'd be yelled at. And it's like, why am I getting yelled at? Taught us how to use transistors, wouldn't give us an answer. It took me a couple months to figure out one. Eventually I did. Every light bulb in my head turned on with electronics. It became easy. Most of it was CMOS, so not too bad, all 5 volts. Simple stuff. We didn't use a lot of TTL. But it was interesting. Electronics was kind of cool. And then because of that, got access to the school, because I joined the career prep program at Vancouver Tech. And then I took computer science there, and there we worked on the Prime 750. The teacher let us take all the books and we studied them from, compilers to OS to you name it. And I remember one year, actually in grade 12, they took our passwords away to make us read a book called The Third Wave. What we decided to do is we didn't want to read the book. We read it anyways, but we took our passwords back after they changed them on us. We found if you do it PWU or PWS or whatever under CMDMSO or MFT, these are directories on the Prime 750, you could bypass security quite easily. Not the tightest security system in town, but it was kind of cool. And that's what got me the bug. And then after that, continued. Finished college. Actually, that was high school. Then when I went to college, we had Prime 750s too. We worked on the 370 or 360 mainframes. And then I joined Bendor first, Bogardus Wilson, then Bendor. Worked on a System 34, 36, AS400, B30, and kept on going from there. So I've been working mid-range, and now I look after Linux servers. I hate SUSE, love Red Hat, because that's the best one the bank where I work has. I won't say the company. You can look it up. But it was interesting. Still learning, always want to know stuff. That's why I got all this crap here, all my little Linux servers and Windows boxes and Chrome boxes, and you got to keep the brain sharp. And that's why you see drones in the back, because I'm playing with electronics and playing with 3D printers and all that stuff, because I got to keep the brain going. And you'll notice I got the Wi-Fi, Pineapple, and all the same thing. Just got to keep sharp. Cool. That's my rant for the day, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.